Well, welcome back. It's a little bit cold today. It's 37 degrees and it's been snowing off and on for the last 3 days, but it's not sticking. I've got my little heater going. I shut it off now so I can do this, so I'm not really cold. I've got some oak blanks like this. I got these in 2016 along with some that are about 3 feet long. So the story about this is I went to a moving sale and they had some machinery. There was a cabinet table saw which I ended up buying, but I saw this oak on a shelf and I asked him, do you plan on selling that? So him and his daughter talked and they decided no, he's never going to use this, and this is how much I want for it. So I couldn't believe how low that was, so I went over to his daughter and I said, look, I'll give more for it because that's just too cheap. And she says no, because I had showed him pictures of my turnings. He said, listen, I want to see this used. And he was confident that I would make something out of this. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to see if I can do this wood justice for him. And I've got a piece already cut round with a hole for a worm screw. So let's get that mounted up and see what we can do. I've got it all mounted up. It's pretty balanced because it was easy to find the center. Doing about 820 RPM. I'm going to start with a 5/8 bowl gouge. Now I don't recall taking a piece like this before and making a bowl out of it. When I use kiln dried wood I usually do segments, so this will be a little bit different. I think I may have done a couple of them, but it's been a long time. This is like if you went down to the local wood store and bought a blank, you'd start like this. So 5/8 bowl gouge, about 820 RPM. So we pretty much have a shape already. And I don't know what I want to make out of it. I know that looks pretty wide, but I think I want more room on the inside, so you kind of need to leave the base wider if you want a lot of room on the inside, because I think this will be a utility bowl, or it might be another popcorn bowl, I'm not sure. Let's go ahead and mark for a cannon and then I'll make that decision. And as you see, I didn't use tailstock support because, well, it's balanced, it's not very thick, and it's very hard wood, and it's really on that worm screw. Now, because I want to have as much room as I can on the inside, I'm going to put a recess in here, because if I put a tenon on, I'm going to cut more of this off, and then I'll have to cut more off here, so that's my reason for doing a recess. Saves the thickness and gives me more volume on the inside. I think I might just go ahead and put that in right now. Okay, I'm going to use the 1/2 inch bowl gouge. We're going to be real deep because it's, again, it's kind of a hard wood. I'm going to get my dovetail tool. Go ahead and clean this up a little bit. might take maybe another 1/8 inch off of the radius. Okay, I think we're just about ready to sand that. I've left a little nub on here. I'm going to do something I did before because I'm going to come back afterwards and clean this dovetailed recess out. And I'll show you that when we get close to the end. So this is pretty smooth, but I've got some more open grain here like oak does. I'm going to go ahead and go over it with the negative rake scraper and then round this corner off. Then we're going to get it flipped. Alright, I can sand that. And speaking of sanding, I'm going to sand it after I flip it around. I want to do all the turning today. Tomorrow's PT, and I could at least sit out here and sand this if needed be. So we'll see how it goes. So let's go ahead and get this flipped around. I'll be right back and we'll cut the inside. Okay, I've got it all flipped around. It's running nice and true. Use the same 5/8 bolt gouge to start with, and we're still doing about 820 RPM. So I don't want to let this fool me to think I've got that much on the wall, because I don't. Yeah, I have maybe 3/8 there, and this is around, oh gosh, that's close to 3/4. So it's just a shape I put on it that needs to be a little wider, or it's going to get cut away. So just to get it where I want, I'm going to go to the 1/2 inch bolt gouge and just sneak up on that, get that wall maybe around 1/4, and then we'll finish going down. And I might be nice to my eyes and put some light on that. That's it there. That's 1/4 inch. I do need to get this cleaned up here. Use a negative rake scraper. Now I would say, especially with kiln dried wood, get this as smooth as you can before you take any more away, because it's kind of nasty. It's so dry and it vibrates a lot. It's not like, even when you have a chunk of a log and you consider it dry, it's never as dry as what kiln dried wood is. At least that's what I've seen. I'm going to finish this and we'll go ahead and cut some more. Alright, that is just what I was imagining right there. Lucky me. I can probably take this away now, the tailstock, and work on that. Okay, I've got you a little different angle, and I am just using my little spotlight here, and I think that'll make a nice effect. So we're going to check that, and then we'll clean it up. That is right at a quarter there. I'm almost to the outside diameter of that base. I'm going to go ahead and clean that up just a little bit more, and we'll use the scraper on it. I use the 3/8 for doing this. You can hear it. It's there. Alright, we're going to go ahead and scrape this, and we'll cut that rest of that out, and we just about have it. Okay, we are ready to sand, and before I came out here, someone suggested that I don't overdo it, so I'm going to listen to that, and tomorrow after my physical therapy, if I have to sit down, I can sit down and sand this, so that's the plan. I'll see you tomorrow. Alright, time to get it sanded. It is the next day. I forgot that I needed to order some 80 grit. This turned really nice, so I'm going to start with 100 grit, sand it to 400. I'll sand the other side off the camera, and I'll come back and we'll get a coat of sealer on here. I'm running the lathe forward at 400 RPM. Okay, time for the first coat of finish, and I'll be using some shellac based sanding sealer. I'm using the shellac because it'll add a little tint of color to the wood, and oak can use that. Alright, that's what it's going to look like. I'll go ahead and get the back side finished as well, and we'll come back and I'll show you my little trick for dressing up the recess. Alright, I have it completely finished except for the bottom. And I did mention that I would show you how I've used my center with a little point on it. I took the cone off. That just leaves a small amount here that I can sand when I'm totally finished. What I want to do is cut this base down so it comes out to about right there and blend it in. I wanted the wide base, but I don't like the looks of that. And what I'm using is a piece of MDF. I have a faceplate ring hooked to it, and I'm going to put some of the non-slip cloth on there, put this in, center it back up and turn it. So let's get that set up and we'll do it. Okay, I've got the non-slip cloth on here. It's running really true, about 600 RPM. Again, I'm not going to try to cut that nub off while it's on here. We're going to sand it off. It's going to be very easy. I'm going to use a 1/2-inch bowl gouge. Let me get this blended in. I'll sand it and I'll be back and show you what we ended up with. Well, here it is. It's all finished. I think it turned out pretty nice. It's 9.5 inches in diameter. It's about 1.75 inches tall. The base is about 5 inches, and the walls are 1/4 inch, and that bottom is about 3/16 thick. It's pretty cool looking. Oak is very interesting sometimes. It's got some chatoyance in there. I used 2 coats of Zinsser Seal Coat, 2 coats of Zinsser Shellac on this, and then I buffed it out with the Axe abrasive paste. So I kind of had a couple reasons to turn this. One, I'm still doing things that are a little bit easier, and the other is every time I come out here I look at a shelf up to my right, and I still have about a 3-foot piece of this oak and another piece about this size, and every time I look at it I remember meeting the gentleman that I got it from, and I just like that memory. He was a really cool guy. I'm not sure where he lives now, but I had a lot of fun talking with him. So I think next week we're going to step it up and try to go back to more of what I'm used to doing, and if not, maybe we'll do something else similar to this. But I had a lot of fun making this, and I sure hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, do me a favor, click that like button and feel free to leave a comment. Both of those things will really help my channel grow. I do lots of different types of turnings, and you never know what might be next, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And a special thanks to all my current subscribers. You really mean a lot to me. So, till the next time, see you later.